Welcome back to the Two Comma Club podcast. Today I am here with Jason White. I'm really excited about this episode. We got connected on Instagram, and I'm seeing he's doing some really awesome stuff in the government contracting space. So Jason, if you wouldn't mind kind of jumping in here and helping the audience understand where you fit in the puzzle pieces of the government contracting, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm Jay White, first name, last name. I'm from Norfolk, Virginia, 2 up, 2 down, and I fit in the federal government contracting space. I started out in around 2008, and in 2008, I kind of figured out how I could get federal government contracts and sub them out and still get a piece of the money by being in the middle. And I've been doing that since 2008 very successfully to today.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. How
Yeah.
did you find yourself in that space?
To be honest, man, it fell on my lap. Like, I was working at the gas station. I was content. Hold on, let me just explain. I was content working at the gas station. I had no aspirations of doing anything other than moving up in the ranks at the gas station. And you can ask my old manager. Her name was Miss Red. But it fell in my lap. One of my homeboys that I was, kind of doing wrong with in the streets, he talked to me about government contracting. And then that's how I kind of started to go down the rabbit hole and figure out things for myself. I'm all self-taught.
That's what's up. So help me understand what government contracting kind of looks like and what that process is from somebody who wants to get involved.
Yeah, it's simple. A lot of people make federal government contracting different. And notice I keep saying the word federal because there's 3 levels. There's the federal, state, and local government levels. But I only play at the federal level. So it's kind of simple, man. The federal government is looking to procure a product or a service from a small business like yours and mine. So what they do is they will put out what's called solicitations, and then they want the small businesses to respond to those. Well, most small businesses aren't set up to do every single thing. So that's why you can go ahead on and submit for a proposal, find somebody to partner up with to get that solicitation completed, and then you just wash, rinse, repeat. You just keep doing it over and over and over again.
That's really cool. So
Yeah.
these contracts, like what is the actual work like involved in them exactly?
Name it. Podcasting, wig making, janitorial, real estate, um, lawn care, upholstery, redoing floors, cement, uh, anything, haircuts, anything outside the federal government, inside the federal government, they can create or have created a contract and or solicitation for it. So there's endless transportation, nursing, anything you can think of, they have a federal government contract for.
That's what's up. So if I'm understanding it correctly, it's basically like anything that the federal government could need help with outside of the structures that they already have built internally, this is the opportunity for them to basically ask for a helping hand to the public.
Yeah, let's keep it. Let's keep it a step further. Go a step further. So the federal government is actually mandated to provide a certain dollar amount to small businesses. Because they're mandated to provide that dollar amount to small businesses, they do it in a way of contracts. So they create contracts for everything: painting, moving furniture, bringing in furniture, um, I have a contract for cement, or it's a cemetery protection. Just have a guy, armed guard in front of a cemetery. Like, if you can think of it, they have a contract for it. So it's endless possibilities for small businesses to understand how to do business with the federal government for sure.
That's really cool. I love that. So your buddy who initially got you into this, was there any type of the contracts that you were most excited about fulfilling on or anything of that nature? If you're listening to this show, it probably means one thing. You're focused on building a successful online business. Well, here's the truth. No matter how good your offers or systems are, they only work if you have a steady flow of quality leads coming in. And one of the most powerful ways that I've discovered to create that flow is through a podcast. That's why I created the Podcasting for Leads Masterclass. In this free masterclass, I break down how to design a podcast that consistently generates high quality leads for your business by building relationships with the right guests, which gives you access to their network, their list, and their audience, all while positioning you as the go-to authority in your niche. So, if you want to create a predictable lead flow, attract dream clients on repeat, and build the kind of authority that fuels your long-term growth, then check out the Podcasting for Leads Masterclass. The link is in the description down below. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
No, man, I wasn't excited about it at all, to be honest with you. I was more nervous because I felt like the knowledge I knew about government contracting, um, it was I needed to do this. I needed to build a company. It was all about I. But it should be about what I can manage. That right? So I understood I could get a contract and I could manage what the expectations are. So once he brought me, he was going to do government contracting and transportation. So I started to look at what the needs were with transportation initially. But again, this is 2008. I went down a rabbit hole and just was finding all these other possibilities. And then I kind of just stumbled upon, if I can't do it, I can get with a company that can, and we can do it together with the government.
That's really cool. So
Yeah.
is that kinda how you found your spot in the, kind of the middleman side of things where you're helping to connect the government
Yeah.
contracts with those people who can fulfill on them?
Yeah, for sure. So think about it, man. Everybody's been to connect some way, form, or fashion. Everybody has. I mean, even to the simplest form of, have you ever told somebody to go watch a movie and then they went and actually watched that movie at the same theater that you told them to go to? And when they came back and they loved the movie, you didn't get paid for it, but you was the connect between your recommendation about that particular movie. So we've been connecting people, ideas, places. So now I just use that skill set that I already had, and I just started to do business with the federal government. Obviously, it's a learning curve. I started in 2008, but because I'm all self-taught, I didn't win my first contract until 2011. So for me, it was a lot of getting rid of self-doubt, getting rid of myths. I was letting a lot of people get in my head about what I could do and what I couldn't do. And once I kind of relinquished all of that, I started to thrive, and I won my first contract in 2011.
Heck yeah, let's go. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
I love how you're mentioning the weight of the I'm gonna call it, like, the mental side of, like, business and life, really. Like, what were some of those things that helped you to kinda get over those hurdles and be able to actually have that confidence in yourself to pull the trigger on that?
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to my grandma. It was a lot of her just breathing life into me, right? Just speaking positivity over my life. She was a big factor. Um, my homeboy's mom was a big factor because she knew he was trying to get into government contracting, but he actually had got locked up when he started to talk to me about government contracting. So she was a big factor as well. So those two women, along with my mom too. My mom was kind of like, but she came around once she saw how persistent I was being at wanting to do this federal government contracting thing. So those three women combined just continued to be a positive energy and just made me feel like I could continue to do it. And then, you know, just me staying focused helped a lot too, right? People can breathe positivity all they want, but if you're not focused, it still wouldn't matter. So I like to thank myself as well.
I love it. That's what's up.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
So I'm eager to dive more into your story a little bit. Kind of give me a background on like um how you got into the ClickFunnels side of worlds and understanding the online space and funnels and everything.
Yeah, man. So shout out to my guy Jose. He kind of introduced me to making a course and just having a presence online and being one of the voices of federal government contracting when anybody wanted to learn. So he kind of definitely put that battery in my back. And then obviously, when you have a lot of information and you want to package it up properly, especially back then, ClickFunnels was the platform to go to. right? So combined with me and him and some of the innovative ways to package up government contracting. Think about it. Government contracting is already boring. It's extremely boring. And for people to want to learn how to make money with government contracting, and it's a long game, you have to package it up in a way to make it to where people can understand that they can actually do it. So, along with our, innovative ideas, we were able to use ClickFunnels to get out into a massive audience on a monthly basis.
So when you
So when
say
you
that,
say
were you
that, were you leveraging?
leveraging, like, online social media type stuff, or how were you guiding traffic to the funnel and course you had?
Yeah, so during this interview right now, I'm on social media right now. Social media is a big presence, so you have to make your presence known on a daily basis, right? But people have to feel that authenticity. If they think you fake, then whatever you're talking about, they're not gonna believe in that either, right? So showing up on social media, letting people know that you're a real person, letting people see that the story and the pain that you went through is very relatable. That's a thing to help people understand this guy's a real guy. And it's a cliche, but if he can do it, I know I can do it type of vibe. And that's how we were able to continue to build.
100%. I love
Yeah,
that. Authenticity seems to be one of the most, powerful words thrown around today, and I think it's, like, the key to, like, actually unlocking the relationship with people on the other side of the camera, you know?
for sure.
Um, so, also, that's awesome that you're doing live right now. That's the first time that's ever happened on this show. That's so cool. I actually poked
Be
my head
live.
in for, like, 2 seconds, and I
Yeah.
saw it. It was cool.
Yeah.
So what what do you find yourself naturally drawn to in terms of the content creation side of things? Do you like to go live a lot? Do you is that kind of out of your comfort zone, but you do it anyway? Like, and where did you start with all that?
No, man, I'm not out of my comfort zone going live or being on social media, um, or just being in the presence of people that I don't know. I'm a talker, right? I can talk. I love to talk. I love to engage. I think it comes from that, just wanting to engage and hear not only how people respond to my story, but hear how I can help them improve theirs. I think it comes a lot from me wanting to be a server. Once you get to a certain spot in life, your goal and objective should be you should be a servant to others, and that'll help you improve your lifestyle as well. So just me wanting to hear how I can help improve somebody else's lifestyle by going live or by making an inspirational type of post helps me on a daily basis for sure.
That's awesome. I love that. You seem to have this level of confidence about you that I'm sure is only built in like the dark room, you know what I mean? Like those
Yeah,
hard
yeah,
days and the confidence in knowing that you know your stuff and you're
yeah,
coming from the right place. You're planted in actually serving people rather
yeah.
than trying to just think about yourself, you know? So that's awesome.
Correct, correct.
100%. What what would you say was kinda like the moment that you knew that, like, the content game was starting to work for you?
The moment I knew content was working for me was when I was starting to get a lot of like reposts and shares. I was like, "Oh, I take that back." The moment I realized everything was cool on social media for me was when you know, I'm laughing before I say it, but my mom started watching my content a lot. And I'm just be honest with you. Like once she started to watch it, she was like, "Oh my gosh, what you said the other day online really helped me." I was like, "Seriously?" She was like, "Yeah." Like my mom. Okay, my mom is a person like this. She has like a real serious personality. So she's one of them individuals that if she go to a comedy show, she like, make me laugh. You know what I'm saying? She like that. So once I recognized that she started to be inspired by some of the stuff I was saying and doing online, everybody else was just gonna fall in line because my mom is tough. I mean, obviously that's the lady that raised me. So that's when I knew that some of the things that I was doing on social media was going in the right direction and it was still feeling like how it was supposed to feel. when people post on social media, they change it up to make it feel different or not authentic. I wanted to post, and I told my team this: if we posting something and it don't feel like me, then we taking it down. It gotta feel like me. It gotta be me. And if it's not those two elements, then we not doing it. Like shout out to the people that do, like lifestyle marketing and show their cars and their house and all that. That's just not me. I don't want to do that. I rather show people who I am in my, face to face versus showing them an expensive car and an expensive house because that's just setting them up for, long term I don't want to say failure, but it's definitely setting them up for long term delayed, super delayed gratification. Cause just because a person got a house or a car, don't mean it's gonna be yours. And you don't know how long it's gonna take you to get there either.
100%. I couldn't agree any more with that. And honestly, it's wild when you see that stuff online because you really don't know like the backstory behind it, how long it took them to do it, what their payments are, and like there's this facade. I come from the background of like finance and stuff, where like
Okay.
some people who look like they're doing well are a lot of times actually doing worse off than you are, which
Yeah,
is such a mindset like shifting I guess, takeaway.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah,
So, yeah, sounds like your mom and your grandma and, your friend's mom were a lot of, really good, like, support that you had growing up and everything. Do you have
yeah.
any good, like, mentors or anyone along the way as well?
Man, you know what? I get asked this question a lot about mentors, man. And I had one mentor, a gentleman by the name of John Winter. Um, he was my mentor. But that's about it, man. Like I believe in mentors. I do. Mine's is I just haven't found the individual that I feel like I can trust long term without me feeling like I'm gonna overtake their information. I don't know. Like I look at mentors as you're supposed to have them for a certain period of time, and then you're supposed to move on, right? And I think for me, Mr. Winter was that impactful for me. He just kind of teaching me how to be a man. He taught me a lot about business, but how to be a man in business is what he taught me was my biggest takeaway with my time with him as my mentor for sure.
That's really cool, I like that. What What about that do you think was probably some of the most valuable takeaways? Because, like, I can imagine that there's, like, the side of being a business owner where it's, like, accepting that identity, doing the things you need to do, but then, like, more specifically, there is a line drawn there where it's, like, you're a guy or you're a girl, like, what are the benefits to harnessing that masculine energy, so to speak, in the business realm?
Yeah, masculine energy in the business world is important for me as a male, and then as an African American male, right? I have to make sure that number one, I know what I'm talking about. Number two, I have the confidence to answer and rebut anything that comes my way. And then number three, just being a truthful and upfront man, right? Because a lot of times in business, conversations are hard. You're gonna hurt feelings, you're going to ruffle feathers. Everybody's not gonna agree with the decisions that you're making, but you gotta stand on it. And you gotta, I guess, kind of like be truthful with yourself and have no regrets. You can say things in a manner that are direct, but you can have compassionate truth. You know that saying where people say, I'm just brutally honest. Okay, cut it out, man. You don't gotta say there's certain ways to say certain things where it still comes across how it needs to, right? And I learned a lot from that. It's not what you say, it's how you say. That's a cliche, but that's a real thing because if you're declining a business deal or if you're firing somebody or you're moving somebody off of your company roster, you can do it in a manner where if you ever need that person again or that person needs you, then it's no animosity there. You don't burn bridges in the businesses that I've been in and that I'm in. So I've learned that from him for sure.
I love that. I think it touches on a very important note. And it's actually something I heard in church the other day that our pastor was sharing, and it was the idea of leading with grace, but
Yep.
landing with truth. and
Love
it's
it.
like giving people the space to be able to actually like say what they need to say, be heard, be understood, but then simultaneously being like, okay, but there are boundaries that we need to abide by in terms of like what can be considered respectful, what's not respectful, what's allowed, what's not allowed, and things of that nature, which is really
Absolutely.
cool. Yeah.
Absolutely. If you can't
So
understand what the boundaries are for at least your business conversation, then it'd be like anything goes, and we can't have that in business.
100%,
Yep.
100%. I totally agree with that. Um, so let's talk more about the course for a second. Like what was kind of your experience when you got into the course concept of like actually building it, getting people in there, serving people? Like how did you go about um structuring it and what's included in it? What's the payoff that people get from being in it and all that stuff?
Yeah, so here's the thing, man, and I think a lot of people get confused about when I say this. I don't teach people how to win federal government contracts. I never have, I never will. I teach people the process to win, which is different, right? So I go through the winning will always take care of itself. It always will be. But a lot of people, if they are coming to you with their last, or if people are coming to you with their back against the wall and you're saying, I'm gonna guarantee you'll win, and it don't happen, they looking at you crazy because you're telling them, I'm gonna teach you how to win. So I don't teach people how to win. I teach them the process on how to win, which is different. Because if you understand how to fish, you can feed yourself forever. So I'm gonna teach you that process, and winning will take care of itself. It always has, it always will. So I was back in the day around 2011 again, people started to notice that my life was changing. So they would ask me, "What are you doing? How you doing this? Are you back in the streets? What's going on?" I ain't doing none of that no more. That's dead. I'm doing federal government contracting. So I would teach people here and there and everywhere. And again, that's one on one, and that's a lot of work. But when you can do one to many, but you can package it up in a way to everybody can learn at their own pace. That's how we came up with the course. That's what the course is about, is self-paced. The course is also um comprised of A to Z, from formulating your company the right way all the way to submitting a proposal and everything in between that, right? You got your price points, you got looking for the right types of partners or subcontractors, you have understanding what the documentation looks like, you have what um how to find the right types of solicitations. All of those things are very important that we put in the course to make sure you understand what the process is like. And then again, with the power of, the click funnels and social medias and ads, well, I'm able to get out who I am, why it could work for you in any circumstances that people are in, and why you should, right? So right now, I think we have a little over like 19,000 plus students, and they're doing well, man. On Think Ific is the number one federal government contracting course. So that's an achievement that I like to talk about every blue moon.
Heck yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
One of the original I guess, platforms that I was trying to learn the online skill set on was, Thinkific, so that's
Yeah.
such a cool throwback.
Yeah, it is.
I love that. So, the question that I have is pertaining to that, what made you actually go to Thinkific as the platform rather than, hosting it in your own space, or do you kinda do both? How do you, do that operationally, so to speak?
Yeah, so, we made a decision, myself and the guy I was telling you about, Jose, we made a decision back in 2017 to host it on Thinkific because it was a platform that at the time he was more familiar with. So as time went on, we started to notice that it's probably one of the better platforms, and it's easy for a user to get to their course, go through their modules, and uh, keep that tab open without any issues. Now, we do host a lot of things on our own platform. Well, it's not our own platform, it's another platform called School, where we have a lot of information with our community based off of that, and that's growing as well. So right now we are on Thinkific and the School platforms.
That's awesome. So, I know people have used, Facebook groups, they've used school and all that stuff. What made you land on school as kinda that, main community hub?
Yeah, man, Facebook was too much, man. Like Facebook, man, so look, watch this. I'm not an internet guy. I'm just comfortable. You asked me a question earlier. I'm very comfortable on the camera, mic, social media. That's comfort zone for me. But I'm not an internet guy. So Facebook, once I started to get on there and recognize that, because I had a community on Facebook and it just was it was cool for a little bit, but it was kind of corny to be honest with you. So we started to try to figure out other platforms and then we landed on school. And so far, school has been innovative, it's been refreshing, um, it's user friendly. Obviously, it's another app on your phone, but it gives the individual in the community a lot of benefits that Facebook doesn't. So that's why I think because it gives more benefits to the user, I'm more excited about the school community than I was about Facebook.
100%. No, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. So, let's dive into the, tactics around the funnel a little bit more. So, if I'm understanding correctly, you've got your traffic through social media. Were you ever doing any paid ads or anything?
Yeah, man. So I think for me, with federal government contracting, having ads is important to delivering the message the right way. So we run ads every single month on all socials and we run them in a manner to where again, my story, my face, my name, my background can be relatable if you are a multimillionaire or if you're somebody struggling as a 9 to 5, right? So I think running ads are important for getting this message out quicker. Now, organically can happen too, but organically with social media is such a slow roll. You have to be careful on how you do that without running ads, right? If your goal is to get in front of many faces as you can per month, so they can benefit from what you have to offer, then I think paid ads is the way to go.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like it's kind of the, if you look at the information you have as kind of the vehicle, the ads are like the gasoline that keeps the vehicle in flow and moving and getting people where they need to go.
That's
That's what's up.
perfect, man. The gasoline, that's perfect.
Yeah. So, let's say somebody, finds your ad and then they click on it. Where are you taking them? Is it direct to funnel? Is it DMs? How are you kinda nurturing that relationship to get people into your ecosystem?
Yeah, both, man. So somebody finds my ad, they click on the link, it'll put them in the funnel to now start to receive um just some information about me, some information about government contracting, and then information on how they can receive more uh platforms if they ready. If they not ready, it's still gonna provide them just some tidbits and information. Cause again, for me, it's about being a servant. Everybody don't have the necessary disposable income to purchase a course, to be in the community, to do this and that and the third, right? So I felt like it's important if somebody clicks on it and they wind up in my funnel that we can still provide them some information to where it can possibly take them to their next level for free. So I thought that's always been a difference between me and other individuals that are out here doing paid ads and providing course material and you have to pay for. I think that makes me different for sure.
I like that. That's really cool. It really postures you in that, serving first mentality, and I'm finding that, and maybe you'll relate to this, in today's landscape, it seems like a lot of the, online space has kinda put us in a little bit of a, trust recession, so to speak, where
Yeah.
it's like people are very, like, standoffish when it comes to that initial offer of side of things, and it's really like they gotta truly get to know, like, and trust you, see you're the real deal and all that stuff before they even wanna start going down the rabbit hole and making the changes that will ultimately change their life.
Yeah.
Um, what are
Yep.
what are some of those
That's that
things that you're doing to help people kinda make that shift?
Yeah, man, just showing up. Like if you never show up and you faceless, how can somebody begin to trust you? Or if you never talk to the people that are talking to you on social, if you never talk to them, how can you believe that they'll trust anything that you are saying or selling for that matter, right? So I think it's important for to show up and show up as you, not show up as like, man, I go live in my car, I'll go live like just sitting in my car, I'll go live at restaurants, I'll go live just waking up, I go live in the sitting in the chair, like go showing up in different places that people can relate to and talk to them is important, right? If you never show up and you faceless in today's world where people scam, in today's world where people are looking to create a facade about around something, and we can't have that, man. Like, so it's important to show up every single day as much as you possibly can anyway, and that'll create that know, like, and trust factor for sure. But people are smart, right? They know if you BSing them, like nobody's dumb, right? Nobody's dumb, and everybody got their high guard up. So if anything looks off or anything smells sour, they gonna fish you out for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I can smell
Yeah,
you a mile away.
for
That's what
sure.
I always say. Um, so once somebody has gone through your funnel, gotten the free resources and everything, you're getting them into the school group? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, so I think we go from the initial ad to the school community because that's where a lot of my resources are, right? We got extra course material. There's individuals in there that just asking questions, answering questions. And it's constant daily activity to hold yourself accountable if this is something that you want to do. And I think I was talking about this earlier before our interview started on my live. Having accountability partner or accountability community makes sense. A lot of people think they can hold themselves accountable until life punched them right in the face. And now it's like accountability goes out the window. But if you're in a community where you know people are in there that you don't know, depending on you to show up, you'll be more inclined to show up for yourself at that point. So I think the community aspect, going from that particular ad to the community, has helped a lot of individuals.
100%. I can totally see how that works. And I love that you brought up accountability because that holds a very special place in my heart. My journey into entrepreneurship and stuff, the number one catalyst that created change for me was an accountability group that I joined.
Wow.
And it literally created the entire brand and everything that like I'm building my business off of, and it's really cool. Made a video after being in an accountability group for about a week and a half that ended up going viral, getting over 1,000,000 views in 30 days, bringing,
Okay.
tens of thousands of followers and, like, business and all this stuff, and it just
Yeah.
yeah, it was great. So, anybody who's listening and needs an accountability
So
group,
and
hit up
teach
your
me
man.
how to go viral, man. Hurry up. Teach me how to go viral.
Right? That's awesome. Sweet. So, inside of your school group, like, there's so many different ways to do it, like, how do you go about first of all, how many people do you have in there?
So we're small. So I just got rid of the Facebook group. So it was crazy that you asked me, right? The Facebook group had about I think like 3,200 in there, something like that. My
Nice.
school community right now is 92 individuals. Um, but we're growing every day. Again, right now, my focus is to make sure that I'm providing a lot of information in the group, right? So to make sure that the individuals that are in that community are getting everything that they need and being sustainable for the long haul, not a short blast, right? I'm all about month after month after month, making sure I provide the community as much information as they need and resources to get to their next level and not just provide some boom and then that's it now. So right now it's about 92 people in the school community at the moment.
That's what's up. I love that. I'm actually in the process of, building my own one as well. I think as of
Nice.
just before I hopped on this call, I think we got number 9 or 10 or something like that.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
we're just trying to, lean into it and make it happen, so it's
Yeah,
cool.
for sure. Yeah.
Um, help me understand, like, the big dilemma that I'm running into as somebody who's looking to do this community side of things is, like, how do you find the balance of, like, adding value, but also, like, not constantly drilling people with more stuff, if you will.
Yeah, so adding value is what so it needs to be adding value. The more stuff can be requested, not added. So if I'm constantly adding value, adding value, there will come a place in time where somebody will request you to provide a different level of adding value, right? So you will have the demand be placed upon you and you'll be ready because you already have it on the back end versus you putting it in the forefront. I think a lot of times people mistake uh the the value of adding value, right? Meaning if every day I'm showing up on my community or I'm showing up on my YouTube channel or I'm showing up on Instagram and all I'm doing is adding value. That's it. I ain't trying to sell no course. I ain't trying to get you to no workshop. I ain't trying to get you to do no ebook. I'm just adding value. There will come a time where somebody will request they want a different type of they want a different way of adding value, right? They're like, all right, this is cool, thank you, but I need it more streamlined now. And then that's when you can add your other stuff. Let the demand happen because you're right, man. A lot of people don't want products always shoved in their face. I mean, do you want it? Like, you don't want that. I don't want it either. So,
Absolutely not.
so if I don't want it, you can't expect the the public to want a product to be shoved in their face every 2 minutes because that's not authentic, right? And that's not people are following you because they like who you are, they like what you talk about, and they can relate a lot to you. It's a bonus that you have information that can help them get to their next financial level. So you have to definitely look at it as adding value is the number one priority, and everything else can take its place later on.
Yeah. Yeah, I respect that full-heartedly because I think that there's an understanding of, like, making sure that you're actually communicating with, like, the people you're called to serve, right? And
Mhm.
it's, like, understanding, like, maybe, you know, we thought it was a great idea to do, like, an in-person event, but then actually what people want is they want to be able to just engage with you on, like, a weekly call or something like that, right? And if you
Right.
can go through and kinda communicate with them regularly while adding the value and engaging them, now you get the opportunity to kinda connect the dots in a way that's actually gonna get them the results you're trying to help them get through a mode that they themselves want, if that
That's
makes
it.
sense.
That's it, man. Like people number one, people want to know that you care. That's the first thing. People just want to know that you care. Like, hey, it's two things. You never know if somebody is providing their last to get the information that you have. On top of that, they want to know that you care. If you look at people as another number, are you real? Like, are you just a machine again? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, mm, I think when you show up with the being a servant, adding value, people can feel that. And then they'll make decisions based off of that on their own. Like I have a lot of people just off of my YouTube channel that has been awarded contracts, right? And YouTube clearly is free. That's the person that you should be. And then if you have other resources that people can tap into, they'll discover it on their own because everybody got their own learning style, right? So and preferred way to learn. Some people just want to piece it all together on their own. And some people just want to streamline, just give it all to me right now, boom. And they want that as well. So finding that balance is important, but your priority got to be being a servant and providing that value first for sure.
100%. That's
Yeah.
what's up. So the thing that you just touched on 2 seconds ago, I want to dive into a little more, and it's like kind of creating those different modes for everyone to be able to kind of meet you where they're at. And it's like you have the course, you have the community. What are the other offers that you have in your value ladder?
Yeah, man. So we have a done for you program where we do everything for you, right? Well, The whole process is done for you, just basically like a business in a box type of deal. So we have that because I recognize a lot of people want to learn, they don't have the time. And then I can put my team in place on their company's behalf to do everything, submit proposals, talk to the subs, um, business in a box. So we got that done for you program. And then periodically I do workshops. So which is in person and live because a lot of people like to learn that way too. It's like if I bought a CD and I'm jamming to the CD and all that's cool, but I want to go to the concert too because it's a different vibe, it's a different energy going to the concert. And we recognize that early that a lot of people love to go to live events. Then COVID hit, then everybody went to the, you know, being on the Zoom, and now the Zoom is fading away, thank God. And everybody like to be in person because I like in-person events as too, in-person events as well. So we having one in Houston, December the 12th. And I think I like the workshop aspect to what we do a lot because I get to get that energy back. All the energy that I give out, I don't get it back because I'm on a screen, right? I'm on your screen, I'm on the Instagram screen, I'm on YouTube screen. But when I'm in person, I get all that energy back, and that fuels me to keep going as well.
100%. I love that. The in-person events and workshops that you're doing, like, I totally relate to you, like, they're my favorite, like, you get to feel
Yeah.
the energy. It Have you ever heard of the book, I think it's called Seven Levels of Communication?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fire, man, like, that in-person touch point is just so powerful.
it's tough.
Um,
Good.
Tell me about the experience you had running your first, in-person event. What were some of the things that you were concerned about, some of the things that you were feeling confident about, and kinda, like, how it all actually unfolded in the end?
Yeah, my first in-person event, man, was in Charlotte, I think it was, and I did a small group. Well, I thought I was doing a small group. Here's the thing. I got a room. It was only supposed to be around 20 people. Um, and I wanted a small group because it's a workshop. It's not a conference. It's not where I'm standing up there and just saying, you can do it. No, we actually working the entire process. You got your laptop, phones, we making phone calls, we on the computer, we doing what we do as it relates to getting to the point to submit a proposal. So I got a room for about 20 people in Charlotte, North Carolina, and like 42 people showed up, right? I was like, ah. So it was 20 people in chairs, and then the rest was standing up around the room, man. I was just like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy, but in a good way. And I had so much fun teaching that day. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do an in-person event at least minimum once a year. Um, and that's how it kind of shook out to me saying, all right, I'm gonna need at least a room full of 50 people. So then we started to do rooms full of 50 people, and it's been phenomenal ever since then for live events.
That's really cool. I'm actually, in the process of doing my first, in-person event here in the beginning of March, so I'm, like, selfishly, like, eating this up. I'm like, "Dude, this is so good. Spitting game." So
Yeah, I
what are
did a
some of
small
the
I did a small room and it was just it was spilling out and it just felt great. It felt great for sure.
100%, 100%. What, was it just a one-hour day or, like, how many or not so wow, not 1 hour day, 1 day, or was it multiple days?
Yeah, so my workshops is it's a 1 day workshop. Every workshop that I've done is 1 day. We started to incorporate a mixer, a networking mixer, the day before or the day after, but the actual workshop is a 1 day workshop. I mean, there's a lot of information. Remember, I'm talking about government contracting, right? So a lot of things that we do um are geared towards documentation and communication. So that right there is a lot. And to do it for 2 days, it'll probably be overwhelming. So we do a lot in a day for sure.
That's really cool. I think, I've heard nothing but good things about the in-person events. I mean, I've experienced a bunch. You've obviously hosted and probably experienced a bunch.
Yeah.
I just think for anybody who's, like, missing the community side of things, like, it's a great place to just go out and get, like, involved in the areas that you're interested in either studying or getting around the right people, the right environment, so to speak. Which actually is one of the things I wanted to ask you. Like, how how have you gone about structuring your environment for your success, like in business and in life? I guess, like, more specifically, what are the things that you say yes to and the things you say no to, so to speak?
So in the beginning, man, I was saying yes to everything. Anything you could think of, I was saying yes, because publicity and exposure is what I needed to get my message across to kind of let people know, hey, it's a different way to do this federal government contracting thing. Like you can do it because it's millions of ways, but people were online and they was all, yeah, got a pool stick up their rear end, they being all stuffy, man. So I was like, all right, I gotta say yes to any and everything to get the exposure to just be seen. But as time went on, I, number one, you gotta surround yourself with people you can trust. That's the first thing. I'm talking about not just like in the business world, but surround yourself with people you can trust with your life as well, right? Your personal life. And people that have the same work ethic as you do. Because I know me, the type of guy I am, and I've always been like this. If I say, hey, make this phone call for me, and you say okay, and then 2 hours later you still ain't made the phone call, I'm tight. Like I'm mad. Like I'm upset. I'm disappointed. I'm furious. I'm all of that. So my work ethic is if you say, hey, make this phone call, you want me to make it now? Yes. Boom. I'm on it. Like I want things done almost ASAP. So that's the type of individuals that are around me that I like to have around me. And then um again, I started to say yes to everything, but now I don't have the time to say yes to everything. So now it has to almost add value to me in ways that I don't already have available. So a different platform, a different audience, um, a bigger crowd, a crowd of similar attendance. It has to be those type of things that I say yes to make it worth my while these days because it's just different now. But again, in the beginning, man, I said yes to everything.
I love that. When opportunity calls, you gotta take a hold of it, you know? That's what's
Yeah,
up.
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So, in terms of the offers that you guys have going on right now, we talked about the event, we talked about the workshops, we talked about, the community and the course. Is there anything else that we didn't cover that you have going on right now or you want people to know about?
Nah, man. I mean, I think I should, just speak a little bit more on the Done For You program. I mean, that's a program that I feel like everybody can benefit from because while you're learning, my company can work on your behalf as well. But you covered all the programs that we do offer. Um, I think I would like to suggest or dive deeper into the community as well, because inside the community, you get one coaching call per month up to four. So you get four coaching calls, one every month up to four. And then you also get the mini courses that we do every Sunday. And then you get a live group Zoom call every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And those are the benefits of being in the community that I've started. And I think a lot of people are benefiting from it for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like a ton of great upfront value that people can just jump in and start getting their hands dirty and really starting to understand the stuff.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
yeah, if you're not already in his group, what are you waiting for? Go get in there, come on. Like,
Tell us
that's
stop
awesome.
playing.
Yeah. Awesome. So, we're getting ready to wrap up, 2025 here. What are some of the big goals you have before the year is over?
Yeah, man. Just to keep going and growing, getting my message out there. Like again, 19 plus thousand students is a lot, but it's billions of people in the world, right? And I think millions of individuals want to know how to do this government contracting thing. They just ain't heard me yet. And I think once they hear me, hear my story, hear how I'm able to break down how they can quickly get into government contracting. I think that's what 2026 looks like. Definitely more speaking engagements. I think this year I only did around 10. So next year we're looking to make sure we do 20 plus because I bust the stage in half, man, every time I touch the mic, and it's a cool feeling. So I'm gonna probably, we're gonna push for more speaking engagements and in-person workshops for sure for 2026.
Heck yeah, that's what's up. I think those
Yeah,
are
man.
some great goals, man. What do you think
Appreciate
is kind of the big dominoes, so to speak, that would be, like, in your way if you could just knock down that one thing or tackle it that you'd be able to hit those goals on the other side?
Oh man, probably just exposure the right way. Like when my team goes out and introduce who I am to somebody that don't know me, it's like, ah, okay, government contracting. And it's like, all right. But then once they have a quick meeting with me or hear me, it's like, oh man, we this is what we've been looking for. We need this guy. So I guess the right type of exposure is the domino I would knock down. Um, if I felt like I had any type of barrier for sure.
100%. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Sick. I love it, man.
Yeah.
Do you have a hard cutoff here in 2 minutes, or can we keep going for another 10?
Yeah, man. I'm out of here, man. I got a hard cutoff.
Okay. Awesome. Sounds good, man. Well, for anybody who's interested in, getting involved in what you have going on, where can they do that?
Yeah, man. So I can be reached on Instagram at I am Jason White underscore. I am Jason White underscore. And then I can be reached via email, quicker, admin, ADMIN at thefederalcode.com. And then the website, thefederalcode.com. Check us out.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much. This has been an insanely valuable episode, man, and, I wish you the best in 2026.
Appreciate you, my brother. Thanks for having me for sure.